Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real United States video blog. And welcome to Detroit. We're here in front of the Detroit Institute of Arts, the art library here in the city of Detroit. Very famous place, many famous works of art here. Now we're not going to have an opportunity to go inside and show you around today, but this is an iconic place in the center of downtown Detroit that I wanted to start off this episode with. After last week's episode in Chicago, we thought, hey, we want to bring you down and show you a little bit about the city of Detroit. And obviously we're not going to be able to show you all of the details of such a large metropolitan city. But this obviously is a very, like I said, iconic part of the city of Detroit. We're here next to the statue, a replica of Rodin's The Thinker. And obviously they've spent a good deal of money. This building's been here a long time. It's a very famous museum around the world. And we're going to now give you a little bit of a view right here on Woodward Avenue in downtown Detroit. Now, just want to tell everybody that Beverly couldn't join us today. So behind the camera today, we have our assistant camera operator, Chad McMinnis. He's helping us out today. And it's pretty bitter cold out here, but we got some sunshine, good light. And hopefully we can get some rolling stock and give you a little introduction to Detroit. And we'll do future episodes to show more of the detail. So we're going to ask Chad, go ahead and give us a 360 of the area and show everybody here in downtown off of Woodward Avenue. Directly across the street here from the Detroit Institute of Arts is the Detroit Public Library. Certainly one of the largest libraries I've ever personally been in outside of a university. It's a beautiful old building. Again, we won't have an opportunity to show you inside today, but this is a gorgeous library. They have extensive archives and very beautiful architecture. Much of the architecture in Detroit is quite beautiful. A lot of marble and granite and stone used in this entire area. And this is the old part of the city, close to where Detroit was first built when the city started. We're also right next to the campus of Wayne State University, one of the state-run universities here in the state of Michigan. Very prestigious, nice university. And as we look down the street, you'll see some of the tall buildings in the distance. One of those was the former J.L. Hudson building, which was a large department store that was here for the better part of a century. And you can see again that much of the architecture here in downtown Detroit, nice stone buildings, very nice. So Detroit, probably not deserving of some of the reputation that it may have gotten from the mainstream media or from movies and television. Detroit actually is a very nice city, and it has a lot of great cultural and things going on, a lot of great concerts and events, plays, movies. It's actually a very metropolitan city, even though it's known as Motown, the Motor City. And certainly that played a huge role in the development of this town, is heavy in manufacturing. The city itself actually is a very metropolitan area. Like any large city, there are parts of the city which are impoverished and parts that are not impoverished. But in general, Detroit is quite a metropolitan city. So, wow, it's really cold. I can tell you that. Here in Detroit, Michigan, this February, it is bitter cold. Now, directly behind the Detroit Institute of Arts, which is an art museum, is the Michigan Science Center, which is a science museum. So this is more of a technological, modern-day sort of museum, in adverse to the classic works of art that you find at DIA. So again, you can see that we are in a central point of the cultural center of the city of Detroit. And again, we don't have an opportunity today, we just don't have time to show you all of these things, but in future episodes, we're going to try and take you into some of these places, and we'll try to cover those in future episodes. So this is right behind, the library is right in front, and so you see we are in the educational, cultural heart of the city of Detroit. Okay, we've moved just down Woodward Avenue from the Detroit Institute of Arts. We're getting closer now down towards the Detroit River, down really in the center of Detroit. And we're here in front of Comerica Park, the home of the world famous Detroit Tigers, the baseball team here, the local heroes. And they are the 2013 champions of the All-Central American League All-Central Division from 2013. And Comerica Park is currently in the process of doing some renovations in anticipation of the coming 2014 baseball season, which is only about 2 months off. Now you see they've got some beautiful statues here, exemplary of Tigers, the icon of the Detroit Tigers. Really beautiful big statues here. You can tell from the scale of the building how big these are. The Tigers here on the wall have got baseballs in their mouths. And they've really done a lovely job with Comerica Park here. There's a huge amount of pride in the local sports team in most communities, and certainly here in Detroit. People take a great deal of pride in the success of the Tigers, and we're going to show you also where the Detroit Lions, our local football team, plays here in the state of Michigan. And that's over here at Ford Field. We'll get to that in a minute. But one of the things I wanted to point out on this really beautiful sunny day, even though it's cold, right here, right across from this major sporting venue, on the other side of the street is the famous historical Fox Theater. The Fox Theater, been there for well over 100 years, I believe. I'll put that down in the descriptions. But here they play movies, they have concerts, and of course, they also have live plays and productions. So again, we are definitely in the cultural heart of the city of Detroit. And I wish it wasn't quite so bitter cold and that we had more time. We could perhaps show you inside of some of these facilities, but maybe when the Tigers are playing this summer or something like that, we can come back and show you. This is just our introductory episode. Okay, we're still here right in front of Comerica Park where the Tigers play on Woodward Avenue. But one of the things I wanted to show you, this is how close all these iconic things are. If you look here over my right shoulder, you're going to see a big round tower. It says GM on the top. And this is the Detroit Renaissance Center that I'm sure you've seen on many newscasts and movies and television shows. It's right down on the Detroit River. This is the Detroit Renaissance Center. And that can't be, it's got to be something less than a mile away. If you look now over my left shoulder, you may not think of opera when you think of Detroit, but we do in fact have an opera company here, and in fact the Detroit Opera House, which performs opera here. So again, a very, very rich cultural environment here in downtown Detroit. So we're now just behind the Comerica Park where the Tigers play. We're standing here in front of Ford Field where the Detroit Lions play. This is our local football team. They didn't do quite so well in 2013, but we're still pulling for them to maybe do better in 2014. So again, these sports complexes represent a big part of the sporting community here in the center of the heart of Detroit. Included along with that is Joe Louis Arena, which is a little bit further from here, where the Detroit Red Wings normally play, our local hockey team. So we have some very, very well-known, world-renowned sports teams here in Michigan in the city of Detroit. So we'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Real United States video blog. We hope you've enjoyed this short introduction to the city of Detroit. If you haven't already, we encourage you to pick subscribe and join us for future episodes. If you like this episode, please pick like below. We'd really appreciate that. Share it with your friends. That helps us out a lot. And as always, thank you for watching.